Hello everybody. I'm just competing with my dog in the background. I'm not sure what she's barking at, but she keeps having a go at something. So if there are any interruptions, please excuse me. Last time I told you a little bit about children who are hypersensitive to touch, which means that even their clothing can feel extremely uncomfortable at times. Today, though, I'd like to give you a few tips that will help you help them. One idea is to always ensure that they help choose their clothing. It's going to be better to do it online because going to the shops can be a very stressful experience in itself. So start off by shopping online. Getting them involved means that if you have problems when they're getting dressed in the mornings, you can always fall back on well, you chose it, so do try it. A little bit of encouragement. Second is to buy more than one item of the same clothing so that you've at least got one that they can put on when the other is in the wash. Next, do look for clothing firms that offer soft clothing. There are several of them around now, and soft clothing is going to be half the battle. Once you've got that, it should be a lot easier to encourage the child to put it on, and a lot easier for them to actually keep it on. Third is to avoid scratchy labels. And boy, can some of those be really, really scratchy. So if you can't avoid buying clothing with it, then try and take them out as soon as possible before the child wears them. Once they've put them on and found that something is scratchy, they're not going to want to try it again. So take the labels out first. The next comes when you wash the clothes. It's worth always trying a non-bio liquid rather than a powder and rather than a bio item, because those can often cause irritation too. Similarly, try and buy something that is non-perfumed or an item that actually has a very mild perfume, or one that you know the child will tolerate, because some of the perfumes they put in detergents nowadays can be absolutely overwhelming, and many of the children, if they're hypersensitive to things that touch their skin, they're also going to be quite hypersensitive to smells. The next one will seem a little peculiar, but bear with me. It's the drying of the clothes. You may think that it's really good to hang the clothes outdoors when the weather is fine. And yes, it may be for you, but doing that, or even drying clothes on a radiator, can mean that some of them feel quite stiff and starchy, almost like cardboard. And just try putting a pair of socks on when they feel like cardboard. You're not going to want to. So try and avoid that. If you've got a drying machine, pop them in there, and you may find that the child gets dressed a lot more easily. The next point to mention is showering. It's something that lots of us do every day, but to anyone who is hypersensitive to touch, standing under a shower might feel like being hit by a meteor full of needles. It can be absolutely excruciating. So do always try and find a shower head, and there are some made especially for children, that is actually marketed as being soft. So the water comes out much more gently. You'll find the child will actually far prefer that to an ordinary shower. And the final point is that if you're going to hug a child, that can be painful too, especially they often find light touch more painful than a firm touch. So always let them know that you're going to hug them and stand in front of them. Don't go up behind them and suddenly hug them, because that can be quite frightening too. And always use a firm touch rather than a very gentle touch. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy your week, and I'll see you again shortly.